Hi, I'm Mark Leuthold. I'm an artist that lives in Harlem, and this is my dry studio. I work with primarily ceramics, glass, bronze, and painting, and now video. So I guess I'm now more of a mixed media artist. And I call this a dry studio because it hasn't until recently been feasible for me to have a full-fledged ceramic and glass studio in New York. So what I've done to solve this problem is I have made my work overseas. And I come back from my many trips and I finish up the work and store it here. And recently I've become enamored with translucent porcelain from China. And these are a series of spools which reference an ancient Chinese form called bi. And these were burial objects that helped the departed achieve enlightenment. So I've had the apartment for 25 years, and I've just slowly been making things. Mixed in the pieces are some works from a study collection, and most of the pieces from the study collection are from China, from ancient China. My library is also in the studio, and of course I have art objects here. And that's a ceramic, a porcelain piece. This is another porcelain piece fired in a wood kiln, 2 of 3 of them. And this is a glass table that I made at Urban Glass. This is a remnant of an exhibition that I had at the Dome Museum, where a large-scale piece titled Offering. This is a large glass piece that I made in China. I do work here, but as I said, this is my dry studio, and today is a perfect day, and what I've been doing is carving on some work, and when the work is finished, it might look more like this. And this is a piece that I've been sanding, and some other pieces in process. It's messy, so I like to do it outside, and it's also beautiful here. There's another space which here's one of my paintings. And I guess this is sort of an archive, and in here are stored lots of pieces from my various creative experiences, and more of these pieces that I've placed in the window. This is a piece I never have gotten to exhibit. I hope to exhibit it someday. And this is another piece I never got to exhibit, this big blue piece. This is some work that I did in collaboration with Dawn Clements, who and she worked mostly in ink and watercolor, a fabulous, amazing artist. We did an exhibition together at Bates College called Back and Forth. Many of my projects are done overseas just because it's hard to self-actualize in the United States for an artist like me. For example, this was an exhibition that I did at the Yijin Museum, a solo exhibition at the Yijin Museum, where I invited participants to walk on 1,000 porcelains in a dark room. And then once they came into the room, they discovered a video on the wall, a very large video. And the video consisted of images of my work deconstructing and reconstructing, kind of like a kaleidoscope. So participants were helping me destroy my porcelains by walking on them, and on the wall, I was using technology to deconstruct and reconstruct my work as well. Well, after that exhibition, I wanted to work with those porcelains to reconstruct them into a sculpture. And I built a large rectangular sculpture on a bronze base with lighting. And then I covered it, this is our team, covering it with this glass box that had a passage on it written by the poet Rainer Maria Rilke, and it was about the unsayability of art, the difficulty of defining it and describing it, and even understanding it deeply. This is looking into that rectangular prismatic sculpture that I built out of the smashed ceramics. And here you can see the part of the etching on the outside of the box. And here's looking into the box. Let's see. Here, maybe this is an easier to understand picture. So because the porcelain was translucent and the prismatic sculpture was hollow, the light would come through. And the porcelains were held together just by gravity, no glue. And in one corner, I perforated holes, graduated holes. Here's a shot where you can see that. And I donated it to an art center in Shanghai, the Chantilly Art Center. And they... The idea is that in those perforated holes, eventually water will seep in there, moss, ferns, and maybe even a tree will grow up through those holes and destroy the box. So the piece is designed to change as it evolves. It would be difficult to do a project like this in New York. And it's difficult to make art in New York. So having this dry studio helps me retain my presence in New York while I go overseas to make art, exhibit art, and to engage with communities that are interested in my art. That's not to say that I wouldn't love to do projects in New York. Some years ago, I did a very exciting project with Fong Bui at PS1, and that was a wonderful experience. And I always have a bag here because I'm always on the way somewhere. Later today, I'm headed upstate to a studio that I've been slowly constructing, my wet studio. And it's not done yet, so that's why I'm doing a video of this of the dry studio. And there's more art here. So there are a lot of layers to my work. It's shaped by my varied experiences, both here and overseas, and it's influenced by many cultures and such as European cultures, which my parents came here to the U.S. from, and the Asian cultures that I've embraced as an artist. More information can be found on my website, my eponymous website, and I can be contacted through there. And I welcome engagement with people interested in art. Thank you very much for taking this brief tour with me in my studio in Harlem.